What's up, everybody? It's Sid and Millie back with another episode. As you know, the World Cup is going on, so we've been kind of chatting about the games that have been happening. And today we just finished watching the Spain versus Belgium game.
Nice.
And who moves forward, Millie?
Yeah, well, Spain won this quarterfinal match, and they will now move on to the semifinals against France in the World Cup. So,
Wow.
so yeah, pretty. That is going to be a pretty insane game for sure. But yeah, the Belgium versus Spain game was definitely very close up until the end. So yeah, I think Belgium can be very proud of their performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really was looking like they were going to be going into the overtime
I know,
at the
yeah, it
end
was.
there.
Yeah, and obviously Spain got the early go-ahead goal, kind of off of a bounce again, kind of similar situation on both goals. At the time, Courtois kind of bumbled it back up,
Okay.
and someone came and tapped it in, and the exact same thing happened for the second goal.
Dang.
So yeah, super unfortunate for Belgium, but they had a lot of things working against them. One of their main midfielders, Tielemans, was injured in the warm up, so he didn't play.
Oh,
So that
man.
was a big loss for Belgium, as well as the injury to Courtois. Obviously, huge, massive loss for them. That did open up the opportunity for Lemons to get his debut for Belgium at the
Yeah.
World Cup. So always great to see a Manchester United player getting on the field and getting an opportunity,
Yeah, absolutely.
because he'll probably be the future of the Belgium national team as far as goalkeeping goes, starting probably now.
Wow. Yeah. So that will be super interesting to see how that goes for him.
Yeah,
How did
yeah.
you feel about his performance
Um,
in
I
like
mean,
his short, I
I
guess,
mean, yeah, it
time?
was definitely short. I think he got a little bit unlucky with the shot from distance, came through a lot of bodies, saw it late. And again, because he hasn't had any minutes at all at this World Cup, I think it was a little bit tough to immediately jump in a game and be
Mm-hmm.
thrown into an opportunity like that. So, a little bit unlucky. But as far as his distribution and other things that he did while he was on, I think he was, fine. It was exactly what we had seen at Manchester United.
Yeah.
Just yeah, again, really unlucky for the shot that came in. But again, you need that combination of the goalkeepers, defenders, everybody to be on tuned
Yeah.
in. So when the goalkeeper does make a save, even if it bobbles, even if it's not a clean save, you still need to be really able to rely on your defenders
Mm-hmm.
to kind of come and make that clearance. So that yeah, just unfortunate.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
yeah, but
unfortunate,
still,
but
very happy that Lemons got his first minutes, got his debut. And yeah, at the end of the day, it's all just a learning opportunity. So take the lesson and bring it back to Manchester United, because you're our number one, and let's move.
yeah,
Let's go win this Premier
absolutely.
League.
Yes, but back to the overall game.
Yeah,
Who did you kind of feel like first half or second half or whole game? Who did you feel like was kind of the better team on the
I mean,
field?
Spain was definitely the better team on the day. Like, definitely no hands about it. I mean, Spain hadn't given up a World Cup a goal at the World Cup
That's
until
right.
today. Belgium actually scored the first goal against Spain at
That's
this World
right.
Cup.
That's
So
pretty
it
crazy.
is pretty crazy.
That's
Yeah, it's a
crazy.
pretty unbelievable stat, honestly.
Yes.
And their goal record even extended beyond the World Cup.
Oh, wow.
But needless to say, Spain is massively dominant in possession. They're a possession oriented team for sure, but they're not boring in possession. That's the
Mm,
good thing about the Spanish national team, is that they're maintaining possession, but they're trying to hurt you every single time.
dang. Okay.
They're trying to find ways to break down the back line, and trying to find ways to move defenders. They have a lot of players that move in between the lines,
Okay.
and
Kind of
so
like floating around a little bit.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So essentially, they're forwards, they're wingers. They float into the midfield. They float into the space in between
Mm,
the other team's back line and midfield. And
okay.
so there's like pockets of space in between the forwards, the midfielders, the defenders.
Right, of
And the
course.
Spanish team does a really good job of playing on those spaces. So a
Oh,
lot of their
okay.
players will pop up in those holes. And then when they receive the ball, it forces the other team to make, a pretty tough decision, because if you step to that person, you're leaving a hole behind you, but inevitably someone has to put pressure on that ball. So yeah,
100%.
I think Spain they play really good football.
Okay.
There's
Like entertaining, exciting football, or just
Yeah,
like,
no, they definitely do. I don't think they necessarily. I mean, look, Lamine Yamal is a phenomenal player. I just think they don't necessarily have like Olise or Mbappe. But again,
mm,
we're gonna see what that matchup looks like next week. But today the key matchup was really Lamine Yamal versus Doku.
Okay.
from Belgium. And I would say, I mean, it was maybe 60-40 in favor of Lamine Yamal. He got off some shots for sure, beat Dorgu a couple times, but they both fouled each other. They both were going back and forth, creating good opportunities. And at the end of the day, Mbappe is like clear above Doku. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like clear above Doku.
Because they're both wingers.
Yeah, both
Okay.
wingers. So, or I mean, Mbappe floats. So he's sometimes a point man, sometimes a winger. He pops
Okay.
up everywhere.
Yeah, cool. Got
But
it.
I'm technically on like the starting sheet, he won't be a winger. He'll probably be as like their number 9.
Got it.
But again, Mbappe is everywhere in the attack. But I say that to say they also have I forget his name, the guy who's been starting for France on left wing specifically. But you know that matchup with Yamal is going to be massive
Mm-hmm.
because again, the French national team has star power that is kind of unheard of.
Yeah, truly.
Um,
They are a crazy built team.
yeah,
Yeah.
but Belgium honestly did a decent job of maintaining, you know, Spain. They didn't allow their danger guys to make key movements in the game. Obviously, Yamin Yamal was on the ball a ton, and everything from Spain goes through him. He's the star guy for the Spanish national team. But Belgium did a good job of forcing him onto his right foot a lot of times, you know, forcing him inside where there were more defenders kind of waiting for him. So
Yeah.
Yamin Yamal kind of had to adjust his play and more focus on like passing, distributing, and that's kind of why you saw him popping up in all those random positions all over the
Got
field.
it.
It
He
was
didn't score, did he?
he didn't score
He did
today. No,
not
no, no, no,
score,
no.
so still hasn't scored in the World Cup yet.
No, he hasn't.
Wow.
No, no, no. But he's definitely been a key player for them
Yeah.
for sure. Another key player for Spain was Olmo today. Danny Olmo, who plays for Barcelona. I mean,
Okay.
he is a fantastic midfielder. I mean, he is everywhere. Great ball winner. He's phenomenal with the ball at his feet, and he likes to take. I don't think my mic is on.
Oh, shoot.
And he likes to what's it called? He likes to take space when you know there's space in front of him, and I think that's such an important attribute for a midfielder, being able to you know take the space in front of you
Yeah,
and
true.
take that ground because again, it forces other players on the other team to make decisions. When do we
Facts.
step? Who's running off of him? And then you know you've got this player storming down at you. So yeah, Olmo was fantastic today in the
Okay.
midfield for Spain as well as Rodri. I think, you know, as much as I hate shouting out any Man City players with his little shirt tucked in, looking ridiculous, but looking like someone's dad out there. But Rodri was also immensely important for Spain. He really does a great job of controlling the tempo of the game. And a lot of times where Belgium was trying to break out and, you know, alleviate pressure, Rodri was right there to win that
Mm-hmm.
ball, you
Okay.
know, to win the ball off whoever the forward for Belgium was or you know just pick up a loose pass or anything. He was winning everything in the midfield,
Wow.
and I think that's where Belgium was really missing Tielemans in there.
Right, because
Um,
he was injured, you
yeah,
said,
he's the
or
one who got
this
injured. No, in the warm up for the
in the
game,
warm
actually.
up for the
Yeah, he was
game.
of course in the
Oh,
starting lineup
dang.
because
Oh,
he's
wow.
yeah he's such a key player for them. He scored
Dang.
2 of their goals in the last game to put them into this round.
Okay.
So missing
Man,
him,
that's
yeah,
unfortunate.
missing him was massive for Belgium. It was massive. He there was a huge hole in their midfield where
Mm,
he was meant to be. And even you know De Bruyne wasn't really able to shine as much because again De Bruyne is typically used to being in a team that has majority of the ball, has possession, so that he can pick up the ball in those spaces and make things happen.
yeah.
But because Belgium was mainly today defensive and then playing on the counter attack, it didn't really allow even Kevin to you know do the things he usually does.
Yeah. He almost scored at one
He did
point,
almost score. Yeah, he did have a
but
good
hit
opportunity.
right at the keeper.
Yeah,
But he had his back turned, so that was a
yeah,
tough
it
shot. I
was
ain't
a
gonna
tough
lie.
one. But yeah, I think Spain did a really good job of you know dominating the game, dominating possession. I think it was like by the 60th minute they had already like 400 passes
Oh my gosh.
compared to like 200 low 200s for Belgium.
Dang.
So I mean their passing stats were off the charts as well as possession. But I'm thankful that Spain is a little bit more purposeful in their possession. They're not just
Okay.
keeping the ball just to keep it. They're actually trying to pull and move the other team to
Hmm.
create opportunities. They're always trying to get Yamin Yamal on the ball. They're always trying to put him in opportunities to run at defenders. And I think that's what makes Spain so good. Again, they're the defending European champions, so they have a lot to prove at this tournament, and they're doing it.
Yeah.
They're doing it. They're a good footballing team. So
Absolutely.
the matchup, them versus France, is going to be unbelievable. That will, I mean, we said the Mexico England game was the game of the tournament so far. I think this France Spain game has the opportunity to eclipse that.
Yeah, I think so. I think this will be crazy
Hmm.
because is there any sort of rivalry between Spain and France? I know they're like bordering countries.
I
Do
don't
you
know if
know?
there's a
Yeah,
big like
not really,
historical
but
rivalry there, but they've always been two footballing giants. So
yeah,
because of that, naturally they would have played each other a bunch of times at
that
these
makes
sorts of
sense.
tournaments. So it will be interesting to see how they adjust. I mean, Spain will probably have to adjust a little bit in that game because there will probably be longer spells of that game where they don't have possession.
Okay.
And France will also likely have to adjust as well because similar story for them. Spain is a very possession based team. France is used to having the ball. So both teams are going to have to adjust. And even for Spain, even though they are possession based, possession can actually hurt you in a team that is phenomenal at counterattacking.
Mm,
And with Mbappe and Olise, you don't necessarily want to get caught in possession.
yeah.
And that did happen to Spain a good few times today where they were caught in possession in the midfield and Belgium was able to, make a fast break. So,
Dang.
France is going to punish them for that. So I think the Spanish team, they looked really good today, got the win, handled things. They gave up their first goal in the tournament, highlighting that they aren't this infallible defense, right?
Yeah, true.
So I think it's going to be a great matchup. I definitely don't want to sleep on Spain going into the France game because I do think Spain is a serious team.
Yeah, they'll be
But
ready to play France, I'm
yeah,
sure.
definitely. It's going to be the biggest game of the tournament, bar none.
Yeah.
But it's a matchup for for the ages. But overall, I really think, with all things considered, Belgium did really decent at this World Cup. Obviously they knocked out the United States,
Smacked the
yeah,
United
smacked the
States.
U.S. very comfortably in the round of 16, and kind of really showed their class in that match. I think they left it all out there,
I think
throughout the
so.
tournament. Obviously, really sad to see Courtois get injured. Pretty sad to say that this could be De Bruyne's last World Cup. Obviously, he's
Oh,
been
wow,
such
yeah.
an integral player, not only for Belgium, but just football in general, despite being a part of the biggest cheating team in history. But that's neither here nor
Side
there.
eye.
For Belgium, at least, he's been, immensely important for their
Yeah,
team. We'll obviously be seeing a ton more of Doku in the
because he plays
Prem.
for City.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
yeah,
he
he
does.
does.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, some of those players, I think Trossard, of Arsenal, or I guess he left Arsenal, but last season he was at Arsenal. He was okay today. I just think he was taking too many touches on the ball and needed to connect passes quicker.
Mm.
When Belgium did have those brief moments of possession, it felt like they had too many guys that were just lingering on the ball. And the way that Spain press when they don't have the ball, like, they're almost like rabid. They really want the ball back.
Yeah,
And it's a
definitely.
great strategy from Spain to try and win the ball back immediately. But on the flip side of that, Belgium can play football. They're a good footballing team, and I feel like they didn't really trust themselves enough
Mm.
at certain moments in the match where they were just pinging the ball long, or pinging the ball up to Lukaku
Not
later in
taking
the match.
shots when they should have been hesitating. I feel like there was a
Yeah,
couple moments like that.
yeah, definitely. Where you almost wondered, like, why they were giving Spain that much respect. Again, not that Spain is not a good footballing team, but I feel like Belgium didn't believe in their own footballing abilities
Mm.
at certain points in the game, when, a couple more passes were needed in certain sequences, but they rushed it and tried to go quickly, or, they had a lot of sloppy passes and passes that were just completely wayward, just not even close to the
Yeah.
direction. um, and yeah, so those elements definitely added up for Belgium today, missing key players, and yeah, it just hurt them. But I think from Spain's perspective, it was a massively dominant performance,
Yeah.
which is pretty typical of what we've seen from Spain at this World Cup so far.
Okay.
So yeah, more of the same from Spain, and it was more than enough to get the job done.
Definitely.
They left it late, but I think inevitably
Yeah.
a win's a win. So
True.
they're into the next round.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens next in the
Hmm.
game versus France.
Yeah, it will for sure. And yeah, I think Spain versus Belgium was a decent game. It was. I'm honestly glad it didn't go to overtime, though.
I
To be
know.
honest, I don't think I had another 20 minutes of attention span to spare. But for the 90 minutes, it was a good game, and I'm glad. Glad Spain got the one. Happy for Lamine Yamal. It was great
Yeah,
to see Nico Williams get back from his injury. And, got to support the brothers. And yeah, that's all. Those were our thoughts on the Belgium versus Spain quarterfinal match in the World Cup.
So if you made it this far,
Thanks for watching.
we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.